for Clemson, we have Gabe DeVoe and Marquise Reed. And we are ready for questions for the student athletes.
Over here to your guys left, Joe Gorcho, WIS out of Columbia. Well, first of all, how you guys enjoying the trip so far? I mean, is it everything you guys would have imagined being a part of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, just getting adjusted to the time. Had a great dinner with the team yesterday. Just excited and ready to play tomorrow.
You know, I was talking to Tim Beret yesterday, and he was talking about the Barcelona trip and how that incident in front of the team hotel with the bombing kind of brought the team together. Can you guys just talk about that moment and what it was like to go through it? And do you think that was a turning point in terms of how this team really came together as one, how it's carried you guys through this season?
That was a very scary incident, you know. But for us to be out there and just all we got out there, and I thought that brought us together more as a team, you know. Being stuck in the hotel for about 24 hours, couldn't go nowhere. So we just really brought our relationship closer.
Any other questions? Wow, you're on fire.
I guess it'll just be us three right here. When Dante went out, you know, midway through the ACC play, I mean, there was a lot of talk that, you know, will this team continue to stay strong? It seems like at first there was an adjustment period. Do you guys think you've been able to kind of adjust to life after Dante, and how has he been able to still influence you guys in a positive way from the bench in terms of trying to still apply some of that leadership he had when he was on the floor?
Yeah, things changed a little bit on the court with his versatility, with his ability to bring the ball up the court, and things on the defensive end being able to switch. But with Amir stepping in, I think he did a great job for us, and our guards just continue to step up and make plays. So I think we adjusted fine, but his leadership is still there. He's still a voice in the locker room and a big part of our team.
Andy Morgan, KTSM News, Channel 9 in El Paso. What is your guys' impression of what you've seen on film of New Mexico State, what they do well, and do you guys see them as, you know, a threat to you guys?
Yeah, they're a pretty good team. You know, they're 28-5. You know, that's hard to do in Division I basketball. So we got a lot of respect for them. You know, they rebound the ball pretty good. They get out in transition. They play good defense. So we just got to be ball strong, you know, go in there confident, shoot the ball well.
Obviously, Scott Eisberg, WCIV Charleston, obviously, you know, each and every year that 12-5 game always seems to be the upset game. Everyone talks about the upset game. It happens so much. Do you guard against just being the upset game a little more, or do you just have to be on the offensive and play your game?
Yeah, we kind of been like the underdog all year, so it's nothing new to us. You know, we've been battling through adversity all year, losing Dante, losing Shelton for a few games, so it ain't nothing new that we can't handle.
Gabe, for you in your final go.
I'm sorry to do it to you, but just name
every time.
affiliation. Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. Joe Gorcho, WIS, Columbia. Gabe, for you, just knowing you've worked so hard to get to this moment, you know, the entire team has, just to have this opportunity, what does it mean to you, and what does it say about this program and where it's going?
Yeah, this is a special moment for me, just knowing the things we've gone through the first 3 years, just continuing to battle, and this going into my senior season, I wanted to make this goal, and I think me and Dante did a great job of rallying the troops and leading our season to get to this point, and it was just a blessing to be in this situation, like knowing you're going to be selected. So just continue to fight and just take one day at a time, and just ready to be out there tomorrow.
Scott Eisberg, WCIV TV in Charleston, South Carolina. For both of you guys, I know they say take it one game at a time, but did any part of you peek down the bracket and say, you know, theoretically this could end up as a battle against the College of Charleston, a battle for Palmetto State supremacy in the second round and whatnot? Do you have to look down the bracket and see that could potentially be there?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at our pod, just focuses on these first two games. Also seeing College of Charleston, have a lot of respect for those guys. I know a bunch of them, so I've been talking to a few of them of their potential matchup. So it'll be exciting to see, but first thing is tomorrow night and just taking care of business tomorrow night.
Again, Joe Gorcho, WIS in Columbia. Marquise, for you, I mean, you've had a phenomenal season. You've done something that only no one has since 1980 with the the 500 points, 100 rebounds, and such. How have you improved your game to get to a point where you're versatile and you can do so many things on the floor, and how have your teammates kind of helped you build that up as well in terms of part of your game and adding to it?
It all started in the off season. We work pretty hard in the off season, and then just putting in extra hours outside of what's mandatory. So just trying to improve my game each and every summer we get off, and doing practices, going hard, and things like that.
Any other questions for our student athletes?
Joe Gorcho, WIS in Columbia. I'm just wondering, how do you think you guys are going to handle the nerves tomorrow when the lights go on, you guys take the floor, you hear the anthem, then you realize we're a part of the dance, something we've been waiting to be a part of our whole lives? For both of you, if you could.
Yeah, I think the nerves will be there until the tip-off. But I think after the ball tips off, everyone will be fine. I think we'll just handle it fine. But I'm excited now. I feel like I'm ready to play now. So, yeah, leading up to the game, just a lot of excitement, a lot of nerves. But after the ball tip-off, I think everybody will be fine.
Yeah, going off with Gabe said, I think a lot of guys are going to be excited. First few minutes, everybody get those jitters out. Some guys might be nervous because they never played in the NCAA tournament before. But I think once the first few minutes go past, we'll be fine.
Any other questions?
Joe Gorcho, WIS Columbia. I just want to know a little bit what Coach Brad Brownell has been like in practice over this last month, knowing that you guys had this opportunity, that you guys were on your way to the NCAA tournament. What has he been like? Is the mood kind of lighting up, or is it even more intense now, knowing that you guys have a chance to compete for a national championship?
He's been pretty excited coming to practice every day to coach us. The more it gets to game day, his juice tightens up. So it's just been a real exciting atmosphere.
Yeah, I think he's coaching us the same as he has in the first game, as he has the 30th game. He brings it every day in practice and challenges us every day. But he did a great job of managing us in terms of knowing when to go hard and give us some time off. And I think we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck. It's nice work by you.
State fans going to be focused here a little bit on the game. Could be a very good game, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you saw some good basketball there. He was firing on all cylinders.
We'll get going with Coach Brownell in about 2 minutes. All right, if you could please silence your cell phones and make sure you announce your name and media affiliation when asking questions. Up next for Clemson, head coach Brad Brownell. And if you could, please start with an opening statement.
Yeah, really excited to be back in the tournament. Couldn't be more proud of our team and what our teams had to go through here this season. Not much expected of us early in the year. Thought our guys just really bonded well on a trip to Spain this summer, and just tremendous camaraderie. We did have some good have some good experienced players back, so I was pretty confident that we'd have a good team. Dante Grantham, Gabe DeVoe, seniors that have been with us a long time and done a lot of really good things for our program. And then Marquise Reed, Shelton Mitchell, and Elijah Thomas, three guys that gained a lot of experience the previous year. But our team really had to readjust with Dante's injury. That was challenging, but we've hung in there and played really well. Defensively, I think we've continued to be a pretty solid team, and then offensively, I think we're getting better. I think we're a team that has made some adjustments. It's revolved around our guards. Our guards have played extremely well, and we're looking forward to a game against a New Mexico State team that is playing great basketball. Have a lot of respect for Chris and the way their team is set up. They guard unbelievably well, very pesky and aggressive defensively. They rebound the fire out of the ball. And I lived at the mid-major level for a long time. To win 28 games is extremely difficult. I think this is a team that's used to winning, so we know we're going to have a competitive group on the other side. Questions?
Coach, over here, Joe Gorcha from WIS in Columbia. You mentioned right off the bat that trip to Spain and how that brought the team together. I wonder, when the bombing happened right in front of the team hotel and there was that moment we didn't even know where all the players were, do you think that kind of really enhanced the process? I know part of the foreign trip is getting these guys to bond and come together, but do you think going through that really aided this team moving forward throughout the season?
I don't think, obviously, the terrorist attack necessarily did it. It certainly gave us pause and allowed us to take a step back and, maybe appreciate all the blessings that we have in our lives, and to be thankful for a lot of things that sometimes we take for granted, and to be that close to it helped in that way. But for whatever reason, I just think this team clicked right away. I think we have some freshmen on our team that have tremendous personalities, outgoing personalities, and some characters that have really kind of energized our program in some ways. Combine that with some older players that are good players, mature, and I think there's just a feeling that not only guys really like each other, but there's a spirit in your locker room, there's a spirit with your team that is extremely positive. And our team doesn't take things too seriously, but we work when it's time to work. We really do, and we prepare when it's time to prepare. So I just think it's one of those years where you're coaching a team that the pieces really fit, both on the court in terms of what we ask guys to do and what they want to do, and then also off the floor with how they get along with one another so well.
Jeff Grammer, Albuquerque Journal. 12 national media picking a 12 to pick a 5 is every year thing. This isn't necessarily a Clemson thing, but this happens to be one. This year, that New Mexico State seems to be one of the trendy 12-5 upset picks. Is that more about just the tradition of the 12-5, or is there something about New Mexico State that you can understand why people would latch on to this team being possibly a team that makes noise?
No, absolutely. I think New Mexico State is a really good team. That's why. And you watch them play, and you understand that. I mean, they beat Miami, beat Illinois at Illinois, beat Davidson, another tournament team, played USC to the wire in Hawaii. And then again, my respect for the mid-major basketball is because that's where I started and coached as a head coach for 8 years, an assistant for 8 years. I know how hard it is to do that. It's not easy to be the favorite to win the league and then to go win the tournament. There's pressure there. And I really think, I'm sure the top 2-3 seeds in the tournament, the top 10 teams in the country, maybe there's some separation. But I don't know that there's a lot of separation after that, to be honest with you. The 12s, the 5s, the 7s, the 10s, the 6s, the 11s. I don't think there's much difference. I think everybody has really good players. I think there's better coaches than ever. New Mexico State has an older group that's used to winning. They defend you, they rebound, they do the things that you need to do to be good. So I don't think it's just the trendy pick of it being 12-5. I think it's because New Mexico State has good players, a good coach, and they play well.
Coach, back over here to your left.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe Gorcha, WIS in Columbia. I'm just wondering, after the years of just working hard trying to get to this point, to be back in the NCAA tournament, what does it mean for you? And then how do you help the players who, most of them in your program, have not experienced a moment like this?
Well, it's very rewarding, for me personally, because there's been a lot of hurdles that we've jumped along the way to get to this point, and we're optimistic that this isn't just a one-time thing, because we've raised a bunch of money and, renovated a facility, improved our program, improved our name. We've done a lot of good things in the meantime. It just, this is the first time we've ever kind of made it all the way through. But I think it's something that we can continue to do, and that's what we're excited about. In terms of playing in the tournament, we're not trying to do anything different. But we are trying to really enjoy it. I want our team to enjoy this experience. I want them to have a good time. I want to embrace it. I think because we are a loose kind of group, that's good for us. And when it's time to play, we'll go play. And hopefully we're good enough to do that. We've been that way all year. We haven't really let things bother us from the outside. We haven't concerned ourselves with being picked 13th in the preseason. We haven't been too worried that the pundits are picking New Mexico State to win. We just kind of worry about us and what we're doing. And, what we're doing is fun because we like each other a lot. And we really appreciate what the other guy's doing. And so we come to practice every day and have a great time together and put in our work and then let the chips fall where they may.
Aaron Torres, The Athletic. Coach, you talked about your time at the mid-major level. Obviously, I know you don't want to speculate too much on someone else's program, but what does it say about a program, the fact 3 NCAA tournaments in 4 years under 3 different head coaches? I feel like in your profession it speaks to a culture, it speaks to something larger than just one coach, one player, and something like that.
Yeah, I think it speaks to a commitment at a school, and that's hard. I think that's one of the things, some places have advantages when you don't have football because everybody's driving towards basketball and everything resource-wise is put into basketball. And I lived at it, Wright State and UNC Wilmington. And, that's one of the hurdles challenges we've had at Clemson is making basketball a big thing there. And there's a lot of things that we've done to try to do that. But for that to happen at a school 3 out of 4 years, I think shows a commitment by a university. It's not just a coach. It's a university commitment with athletic directors, board, presidents. It's a culture, and that's how you have long-term success.
In the back.
Brad, Scott Eisberg, WCIV-TV in Charleston. What were the conversations like, I guess? What was it like years ago when you got Earl Grant from Wichita? Then what was it like that when Charleston got him from you, and now that all 3 of you together in one region, the irony behind all of that?
Yeah, really, one of the biggest smiles I think our staff had was after we saw our name was to see Charleston and Auburn playing in our same region. You know, I didn't know Earl when I hired him at Clemson. He was out at Wichita with Greg, but I knew that I wanted a South Carolina guy, and I'd heard a lot of good things about him from several different people, and so he was somebody that I immediately wanted to talk to, and had a lot of respect for Greg and the way he does things, and knew that if he was working for Greg that he was not only learning a lot, but he was a quality person. And so, you know, when I got the opportunity to talk to Earl, he was excited about the opportunity to come back to South Carolina. He was a joy to work with every day. Unbelievable positive person with great personality, beautiful family. You know, still talk frequently, multiple times a month. And obviously he talks with our staff with their staff all the time. So, you know, I'm just really proud of him to watch what he's done, because I know when he took over in Charleston, it was in not very good shape. And in 4 years, he's done unbelievably, you know, a remarkable job, really. And it doesn't surprise me in the least, and I think he'll continue to be very good, much like the question I just got here about being in the tournament 3 out of 4 years. Wouldn't be shocked if that's what happens with Charleston. But I'm just a huge fan of Earl Grant, always have been, and you know, was blessed that he was able to work with me at Clemson for a while.
Mark Rudy, Los Cruces Sun News. Coach, Jamiro Jones, obviously one of the best rebounders in the nation. What have you seen from him, and what do you kind of tell your guys, you know, going up against a guy like that?
Really unique player, really unique. And I mean, nose for the ball that you can't explain, you can't coach. It's just guys have it. And he's an igniter on offense because of his ability to dribble and pass after he rebounds it. And that's what makes extremely difficult to guard. You know, you're not going to look at him or watch him on film, and it's not going to wow you until you look at his stat line, and then you kind of look at some games, and it's like he just keeps getting the rebounds. I think there were 6 games maybe where he had 20 rebounds. I mean, that's unreal. But his, you know, relentless pursuit of the ball and his nose for the ball is, you know, I don't think those are traits that are coachable. I think those are something that's unique that a guy just has.
Brad, Todd Summers, WSPA TV out of Spartanburg. Talk about the fact that 5 of the top 7 scorers on the floor tomorrow night for you will be guys that have transferred into your program. Is that something you had to change your philosophy on from when you first got here early on to just the way basketball is played now, and just the guys all coming together from different backgrounds, meshing together and making it work?
I think it's a combination, Todd, to be honest with you. I think it's we did start, you know, several years ago, we did start holding a couple scholarships more for guys that we thought were transferred, and where it started was we were losing out on some good players. We'd get down to the final 2, and we'd lost a couple, and we noticed that some of them were wanting to go, weren't happy where they ended up going, and wanted to come back. And we felt like we needed to keep some scholarships available for guys like that. And so it just kind of happened. And then just some other unique ones, like Marquise Reed was just a unique situation for us. We happened to play him and knew how good he was, probably more than most people realized how good a player he was. We thought his stats would transfer, and obviously they have. And then we've also just taken some guys like a David Scara that he just fits me and what I believe in and our team. And he's not some high-powered scorer or anything like that, but he's a guy that helps your team win. And so, yeah, we've kind of kept some scholarships. First time we've ever had a grad transfer with Mark. And he's been terrific for us in terms of a blend with Eli. But I don't think that's easy, and that's not easy to plan that way. But it's not something we just have planned, hey, we're going to take transfers all the time or anything like that. Some of it's worked out. We did plan on taking a couple. And I do think now, just with how many transfers there are, it just has gotten to be there's so many now that you're probably silly if you don't have at least one scholarship sitting around for somebody, because that's just the nature of it. And you're probably going to end up with one because, to be honest, you're probably going to lose somebody. Kids these days just – I don't think there's anything wrong with it. When I was younger, Coach, I did. But now I think we ask so much of them, and we can work them in the summer. We can do all these things with them. We take all their time, and kids play 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes as sophomores and juniors. I can understand if a kid wants to go somewhere and start and play 28 minutes when he's asked to do all the things that we ask him to do in any college program at this level. So there's nothing wrong with that, and I think that's part of why kids are leaving and just why there's so many more kids available.
Aaron Torres again, Athletic. You talked earlier about some of the disadvantages of being at such a prominent football school. What about advantages? I was going to say I feel like the Clemson brand specifically, thanks in large part to football, has been hot. Has that helped you guys at all?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's advantages and disadvantages to a lot of things. The tremendous advantage being at Clemson because of the success under Coach Sweeney and what that's meant nationally for our school and our athletic department as a whole. I'm a huge Coach Sweeney fan. He's left me messages multiple times this week and sounds more excited than I do that we're in the tournament. He's a huge basketball guy. He played high school basketball. So we have a great relationship. And, when we have football games, we've got our best recruits going to that environment, Death Valley, on a Saturday. It's an incredible experience, and it's an incredible weekend. And whenever we bring a recruit, people who aren't from the area, they're shocked at what Clemson really is. Because it's special. But then at the same time, in the middle of January, when we're playing a big-time ACC game, Coach Sweeney's expecting 6 or 8 tickets right there behind the bench for some of the best college football players or high school football players in the country. And obviously we're happy to deliver. So it's an unbelievable experience. It's a shared experience. And I know a lot of schools talk about family, and I cringe because I've been some places and I hear other schools talk about it. We live it. At Clemson, we live in a town of 12,000 people. There's 6 football coaches that live in my neighborhood. We just are all around each other all the time, and it's real. We actually really do spend time together. We want the best for all of our athletes. We want the best for our students, and a big part of that is the athletic department and what that means to our community. And it's special. And I think when you come to Clemson, that's what you see.
Time for 2 more questions.
Again, Coach Joe Gorcha, WIS. In regards to the 2 seniors you've talked about, Dante and Gabe, with Dante, how has he still been able to impact the team despite the fact he can't play? And with Gabe, what has he meant to this program from freshman year to now? He's just grown as a player.
Well, he and Dante have both grown tremendously as players and people. Gabe wasn't highly recruited. He had some good offers, but I don't know if he had another ACC offer. But I just always thought he was going to be what he is now, and it just was going to take a little time. And he's an extremely bright guy. He's got over a 3.0 in our business school. He's going to be successful playing basketball for another 10 years. He's going to be successful for the next 30 years. And some of that is shown with Dante's injury. Gabe has raised his level of play and also his level of leadership. The first couple of weeks were hard for Dante. The injury, the surgery, the rehab, it was challenging. But in the last month, he's been much better. And I don't know if I've met a more genuine young man than Dante Grantham. His personality is really our team. That's the biggest change, is that our team has taken on his personality. His personality is unselfishness. He's actually given up more in his career than almost anybody I've coached for a guy who is as talented as he is. And a lot of times he's one of those guys that will sit back and take a back seat to another good player just because he wants that guy to have success. He really does. So he's as happy for our team, even though he's not playing, as anybody I can imagine. And that's one of the reasons why I love him.
Final question.
Shannon Somerville, Fox, Carolina. What's the final message you want to leave your team before they take the court tomorrow?
Yeah, we're not going to do anything different. Be who we are. Enjoy this experience. We're putting in our preparation all week, and we're going to be prepared. And being prepared and playing well is good enough, but we got to play well. And let's go out there and do what we've prepared all year to do, and especially this week. And then let's smile and have a good time and enjoy this experience.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thank y'all.